For a city steeped in proud tradition, they're hip to experimentation, too.
God, this is so freakish.
This is where they craft the next generation of American beverages.
It's like The Price is Right. I so don't want to go over.
Using ingredients no one associates with top-flight drinking.
So the beaver anus gland juice actually makes the raspberry berrier.
It does.
Science! There's a place in Louisville responsible for putting the oomph in many of America's more well-known beverages. Manufacturing flavor experiences to attempt duplication of reality, and more.
This is so freakish.
It's a little strange to taste something that looks like water and tastes like bourbon.
David Defoe is one of America's foremost flavor authorities. His company, Flavorman, is the creative force behind thousands of beverages lining America's market shelves.
We can do anything.
You can do anything.
This is like a magical place.
The magic started 24 years ago when David took up work perfecting beverages for Kentucky's liquor industry, creating new lines of flavored bourbon.
Alcohol is part of flavor making, period. So like any of the citrus flavors, the oranges, the lemons, the limes, we take alcohol to pull out the flavor components.
David still works closely with Kentucky's bourbon makers.
This is heaven.
His laboratory serves clients from all over the world who come looking to jazz up the taste of their products.
You know, sometimes big companies get stagnant in what they do, and they just go outside and they come to us and say, hey, can you make this happen? And we do.
David and head flavor scientist Marlena McGuffey don't just create beverages, they hyper-replicate flavors, colors, even opaqueness to the finest possible detail, using ingredients few Americans realize is swirling in their cups.
Oh my God.
Castoreum is the secretion found in the anal glands of a beaver. It smells just like it sounds, and there's a chance it's in your fridge right now.
You're in misery being close to that.
Cut down to a concentrated liquid form, that rectal gland becomes one of the finest berry and vanilla flavor enhancers on the planet.
The beaver anus gland juice actually makes the raspberry berrier.
It does, yes.
It makes it better.
It does add a complicated flavor profile to
It
it.
makes it so much more complex and deep.
That's the secret behind every Flavorman creation. It takes not just a chemical or two, but dozens, using ingredients often having nothing to do with the flavors they're trying to create.
If you said, oh, make me an apple flavor, it's not as easy as just an apple. You have to find the basic chemicals that go in there, and none of those chemicals individually taste like an apple.
But together, they might.
Together, they should.
Making a cherry flavor means extracting compounds from peach pits, almonds, or cinnamon oil. Crafting a banana flavor takes flavor chemicals resembling pineapple and bitter almond.
It's just fascinating.
And basically, that's what we do every day. We're pulling all these ingredients together and making different kinds of flavors.
There's even a client from Asia who came looking for, I kid you not, a durian-flavored soda. Durian is one of the most pungent and instantly identifiable odors on Earth.
Ow, Andrew.
Oh my God.
That stinking onion taste and aroma comes from sulfur flavor ingredients, enhancing a carefully rendered extract of the durian fruit itself.
You guys really upped the stinking onion factor. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that you guys are not fond of either one of these.
Good call.
For the record, the new soda was not a success. Dave and his team are much more enthused about their continuing experiments creating new varieties of bourbon-inspired soft drinks.
Well, this looks intimidating.
It can be.
The process starts with creating a whiskey-flavored base without a drop of alcohol. Perfect for a client who stopped drinking over 20 years ago.
That's freakish. I've been sober for so long, and the minute that I tasted this, because it has so much whiskey flavor in it, I almost spat it out.
And there's no alcohol in there.
Right.
To see how their work is done, David and Marlena are inviting me to mix my own brand of bourbon. The bourbon industry is built on the premise that no two bourbons taste exactly alike. So I can mix and match among 7 different familiar whiskey flavors.
Oh, wow. This one is much more bourbon-y.
This tiny base sample is made up of over 20 different compounds, extracted from peach pits, almond oil, caramel, and one ingredient meant to replicate Kentucky's charred bourbon barrels.
Smoke?
Smoke.
Smoke in a bottle is made by mixing wood extracts with flavor chemicals.
Well, so far that's my favorite. This one reminds me of my dad drinking in the 70s.
Any soft drink starts with the sweetener, in this case, diluted corn syrup.
It's like The Price is Right. I so don't want to go over.
Some caramel coloring, then a strong dose of smoke, and a touch of molasses. It takes years of practice, not just finding the flavor ingredients, but figuring out the perfect balance among them, even when you're adding acid for pH balance.
53 grams.
How good are you at math?
I'm very good at math. I'm just a lousy scientist.
Next, inject a spritz of carbonated water. Finally, seal the can.
That's a nice can of soda. Well, cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Well, I'll tell you something. It is a bourbon soda, I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
And there's lots of good smoke and vanilla and caramel and top. You don't like it.
Matter of
It's
fact, it's a little smoky for me.
It's a little smoky
Yeah.
for you, but it's getting there. If you want to have an authentic taste of, the Kentucky bourbon scene, this is one way you can do it, that's for sure.